I'll tell you who's not okay with it though is GameStop.
Oh my gosh.
Run into, if you haven't heard, they're running into a little bit of trouble, more so than what they were before.
Yeah, they're tanking, man. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I mean, we know they've been tanking. CNN Business anyway released a statistic that they are they need to make some changes. Obviously, in a tough place, their sales have dropped. You know, as of this 14 or a little over 14, it's going to be more. You know, if you're dropping $1 billion in like 4 months, that's only going to snowball.
Yeah, across corporate employees and stores. I think it was the CEO's words were in a bit of a tough spot or something like that, and like, wow, like, yeah.
Just think, I almost quit Spring Creek. I almost quit like my food industry climb to work at GameStop. I thought about that at one point because everyone in my, like when I was a kid, you know, oh, you're working at GameStop, you're working around all these games, you're doing this, you know, well, why wouldn't you want to do this for a living? This kind of shows,
Yeah.
you know, not all of the structure, the grass isn't always greener kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, I mean, from both aspects, from the, I guess, working there and from us, because not only are they kind of stingy,
Kind of.
yeah, I think that hurts. I don't think they have a good customer, I guess,
Relations there.
Yeah, it's just they're a little out of touch, and I think that's what's happened. Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to sell the merchandise, and some of it's cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
If they could sell stuff like, you know, first four figures, like that stuff is so, those statues that they sell, they're like $600. They're so expensive. You have to have a subscription tier. Why don't you get GameStop in there? Get some good, valuable stuff that they want to. Don't offload your weird T-shirts and socks, and
Yeah.
don't upcharge for a Game Informer magazine.
Or make it like GameStop needs to work with the gaming companies to get exclusive. I mean, I'm sure they do have some exclusive stuff, but if I can get something online, Amazon or eBay, for like quite literally a fraction of the price I get at GameStop, then I don't remember the last time I bought something at GameStop. I mean, I'm not really up to date on all my consoles and stuff.
I don't have to. There's exclusive things, like for something I'll show off later. There's exclusive deals you can get at other places like Target, Walmart, anything else sometimes. So it doesn't matter if you're gonna pay $60, even if you're a pro member. Like, what? Who cares? Like, you know, if it was a proper pro membership, they should have figured out a way to do more. And with the retro games, it was a cool idea. Like, there's so many hit or miss things that you could do here, but like, there's not much of an incentive for GameStop anymore. Especially, you know, it says their software sales have dropped 5.3%. You know, with the Switch coming out, they mentioned that as well. With how many games? There's over 2,000 games. There's like 2,100 games, 2,200 by now on the Switch. They release so many of them.
Yeah.
Think of how many days it's been out, and compare that. That's like that's like 2 or 3 games a day released on the Switch.
Yeah.
And that's all almost digital. You know, that's the indie.
That's I think GameStop's main problem now. I mean, it's just a digital age. Like, they're retail, so it's purely, you know,
and the
physical.
Gaming as an industry could not be stronger, in quotes. And, you know, and it needs to pivot. You know, obviously the evolution of gaming, how it's, you know, the most popular form of entertainment. You know, TV used to be the most popular. TV's all digital. That's how you access, you know, so many homes. You don't have all this weird stuff, you know, all these. I mean, obviously there's cable, but it's like, again, that's $300. You know, 2019, things change.
Yes.
People are streaming stuff on TV, Netflix, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And with streaming games, Google Stadia coming out, it's like some of the stuff is worrying, but some of the stuff is bound to happen. And GameStop, I mean, I think a lot of us look at it as nostalgia.
Yeah,
because it's always been there.
I mean, it's novel going into a you know, well-kept game store. It's fresh, and you see all these new games and displays, and you can play some.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's novel. I mean...
In defense of GameStop, we can back it up here a little bit. I like owning my games. I don't want to always have everything digital. It's like, what if this corrupts? What if something happens? What if their license runs out? Like, weird stuff.
And you're a collector. I mean, you don't...
If we look around,
see it, but
we'll get a tour.
Games, and he likes the cases and the boxes, so...
We'll get a tour video here just to prove that to everyone. Like, you know, we can talk a little bit about that. But I just, like I said, in GameStop's defense, they've been good about it. They've always carried the AAA games that people want. It's always around the corner. That's the most known video game chain. Like, what others do you know that's lasted? Play and Trade. There's no the Play and Trade that we had went out of business, and they were kind of shady. You know, some of the stuff they did.
Yeah.
With stolen game, I don't know. It was weird stuff was going on. Like GameStop, for the most part, as weird and shady as they've been, they still remained on top.
Sure.
And I don't know what's going to replace them. You know, novel like the hole-in-the-wall stores. Again, around here, a lot of the hole-in-the-wall stores have gone out too.
Yeah.
Goodwill, the games have dried up there too.
They'll pop up and then go, but I mean, we live in a pretty big metroplex here, so
there's some around in the area.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of retro game stores though.
Yeah, I mean, Game Chasers obviously are in Texas, but you know, we can't really travel the city.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. It's like convenience. You know, I can't really go around.
Yeah, and that's a hit or miss kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, it only gets harder, and that's what I predict for the future. It's like, you know, if you want a physical game for the PS4, you know, in 30 years, you're gonna have to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And who knows where gaming will be at that point? You know, how's the preservation going to be?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, we're getting into a whole other topic here, like, you know, the, I guess, drawbacks of digital anything. I mean, you can compare it to anything. So, I guess it would be like music. I mean, I guess that's where gaming's going. So,
for sure.
Pretty much GameStop, nothing really left. Eliminated 120 staff positions and fired 6 journalists from its gaming publication, Game Informer. Again, Game Informer is going to have to do mostly online stuff anyway.
Yeah.
They're a magazine. I mean, they're a big, you know, brand, and I'm sure they probably had a good partnership. They've gone through more CEOs, 5th leader in 2 years since November 2017, not even 2 years.
Yep. This new guy just came in like April or something.
Worked for Best Buy, Target, Home Depot. That's kind of funny, Home Depot. Well, yeah, 22.2% of its sales in the most recent quarter have been selling physical copies. 22% for a store. You know, where are you going to walk into? What else are you going to see in there? You're going to see the phones?
Yeah, that's a lot.
You know, I'm not going in there to buy a smartphone and play Mario Kart Tour or Pocket Camp.
Specific gaming phones.
I'm going there because I want to play something on my PS4. You know, I'd like to really know a lot of people's opinions, like even around here about, you know, physical versus digital. But anyway, that's pretty much enough about GameStop.